has happened to us.
Well, we played a show here in Knoxville a couple weeks ago, and there was a guy there that got on stage and bowed to us and kissing our feet, and we're just, come on, dude, like, really. But man, he was into it, and then he'd bow and worship us for a minute, and then he'd apologize. Sorry, man, am I out of line? No, dude, it's cool. That was the weirdest thing I've ever experienced as a band.
I think I would love to, if I could perform with him, I would love to play with Bob Dylan, because he does so many crazy things. He switches it up, and I probably could not keep up with that. But if I could, that's who I would want to try to be able to keep up with, because I hear he does, never sings the same song twice. And if I could do that, then I could probably do a lot.
If I could perform with any band, it would be Sleeping at Last. I saw them a couple years ago. They played in Johnson City, Tennessee, and I'd been following them for quite a while before that. And they're just an amazing band. I had shivers and cold chills the whole time, and I may or may not have cried a little bit. I don't know.
I could play with any band. I want to play with Miley Cyrus. Yeah, she's hot.
You know, I think I would like to perform, if I could, perform with anybody. I'd perform with, like, a super group of sorts and just get somebody from every band that I'd ever loved or listened to together in one place. You know, maybe a little Ringo on the drums would be fun. I know people give him, they heckle him behind his back, as it were. I think Ringo's fantastic. Maybe a little Jeff Beck on the guitar. Maybe some people playing like Peruvian flutes. I don't know. Something that would be fun. A number of artists.
What makes us different?
What makes us different, in my opinion, is I think we want to stick to a certain genre, but when we practice, we're like, man, what exactly are we doing now? Are we doing something more folky, something dancey? And it's just kind of like we're not that band that's sticking to one genre. Like, we like to explore, and like, from before, we all have different tastes.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, it's fun to bring in different sounds to each song and then finding a common line.
Yeah.
And I think that makes us unique.
And people have warned us before, like, you've got this bluesy thing and then this folky thing, and then sometimes you sound sort of indie, and then this is dancey, and they warn that that's not too marketable, but honestly, I feel like we still stick to the same sound. We always have the same type of backbone going on, so I think we pull it off.
There's a couple things that make us different. Obviously, having a female as the vocalist and guitarist, it's kind of unique in the music scene. There's a lot of females that will, I don't know, just sing exclusively, but to have Kim play guitar, it's kind of different.
Yeah, I've been in a few bands before this one where there's a lot of interpersonal tension, and there's really not a lot of that going on in this. And it really makes for a comfortable environment for everybody to prosper, creatively.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that.
The
We all love each other. We love each other to death. These guys are my little brothers.
We're adopting Brian in right now.
Yeah, he's a new member, but yeah.
He's welcome.
Music is a great language, and you have to have an understanding and be able to take it seriously, even if you're seriously joking around when you're playing.
My parents were always super supportive. They definitely always, at the beginning, not a lot of people would show up to the shows, of course, and I could always at least count on that $10, $5 from mom, $5 from dad, coming in every night. So they were always just super supportive, and always, I think at first it was kind of a shock to see me actually get up there, because I was pretty shy, all through grade school and everything. But
when I started playing drums, my parents were very supportive. My dad actually brought me down and picked up my first drum set from my friend at church who was selling it. And immediately they set up a drum curfew. They told me that I could not play past 9 o'clock, and if they had headaches, I couldn't play. there were a lot of restrictions to playing, but for the most part, they were very, I don't know, I guess generous, I would say, because me playing drums took up their time, and I don't know, they were always very supportive of it.
My parents support the music. They don't support the habit that comes along with playing music. I don't think they like the idea of some of the places we play, some of the crowds we draw out. You know, the lifestyle of a rock star, that's what I hear my mom tell me to avoid, but they love the music, so.
Mother was very supportive when I first started playing music, as my father was supportive as well. However, you know, my mother continues to be supportive to this very day. And not to say that my father's not supportive, but, you know, he would like to see me do other things with my talents as well. However, I do have such a passion for music. It's, you know, one of my few drives that continues.
I really love to write. I love all forms of art, really. I paint and I take pictures, and but definitely I love to write. And right now I'm working on a screenplay for my screenwriting class that I've really just loved every bit of that. And I don't know, eventually I'd like to just be able to make money off of some art form, whatever keeps my, you know, creative juices flowing and keeps me happy and content.
Aside from making music, I really want to open a music venue one day. Music's always been my passion.
My dream is to be running my own venue, doing something I like, hosting bands, and giving a home to, you know, bands. Music industry's rough, like to home, you know, these young artists who want to make it.
My plans for life: I'd like to graduate college and support my music habit. I'd like to read and write music. I really have no cemented plans at the moment. I'm going to take everything as it comes.
I've really enjoyed every step of the way with this band so far, and we've been together for, I guess, about 3 or 4 years now, and it's just, there have been struggles, but it's been so rewarding, and I really appreciate all the guys, all the work they put into it.
There's a couple kids just trying to shed some light. No, we can drive the night. I've been waiting on the lids and lashes, wasted matches. I used to smoke and now I sizzle. What a way to burn. What a lovely little way to burn. What a way to burn. What a lovely little way to burn. Things that go bump the night of fight and stay inside. And I thought I saw them right. Some words out on the street. I've been used to black and white and patches. Always catches me up the curve when the words in color. What a sight to see. What a lovely little sight to see. What a sight to see. What a lovely little sight to see. Let's find a kid to paint with all the candies breaking. Let's pay the bell to break 'em out of jail and thank them.
really. But man, he was into it. And then he'd bow and worship us for a minute, and then he'd apologize. Oh, sorry, man, am I out of line? No, it was cool. But that was the weirdest thing I've ever experienced as a band.
I think it's happened to us.
We played a show here in Knoxville a couple weeks ago, and there was a guy there that got on stage and bowed to us and kissing our feet, and we're just, come on, dude, like.
Would want to try to be able to keep up with, because I hear he does, never sings the same song twice. And if I could do that, then I could probably do a lot.
If I could perform with any band, it would be Sleepin' at Last. I saw them a couple years ago. They played in Johnson City, Tennessee, and I'd been following them for quite a while before that. And they're just an amazing band. I had shivers and cold chills the whole time, and I may or may not have cried a little bit. I don't know.
I think I would love to, if I could perform with him, I would love to play with Bob Dylan, because he does so many crazy things. He switches it up, and I probably could not keep up with that. But if I could, that's who I would.